Hi, it's Susan from Bet's Bees, and today we're going to talk about checkerboarding your frames and how you can ensure or try to ensure a worker drawn comb in your hive. Okay, I've been making nukes and taking frames, and I have empties to put back. And when I mean empties, I truly mean empties. I'm a foundationless beekeeper, and a lot of people wonder how to get it drawn without her doing cross comb, without her pulling drone comb. And this is the method. That's nice. This is the method that I have found to be the best. So what I found is that you have to find your worker comb in your hive. And generally, you probably already have it if you started with foundation or what have you. And so this is worker comb. It's not drone comb. And not only is it worker size comb, but it actually has larva, eggs. It's a working piece of brood. So you find that comb and you take your empty and you put it right next to it. And you might say, well, what if it's drone? If it's drone and there's drones in it, then she's going to draw mostly drone comb. If it's drone comb or worker comb and it's filled with nectar, becoming honey, then she's going to either draw drone next to it, or what can be more of a hassle, she's going to not draw anything on this empty, and she's going to build out this full honey frame, double the size, and connect it inside. And so you're gonna, it's messy. Sometimes it's easy enough to pull apart sometimes, but that's not what you're after, because you're after having this new comb drawn out. So it has to have worker size comb and eggs and larvae in it. You put your empty next to it, and then you pull across the next frame of working comb. Let's see if I can get it out here. And that's a nice frame of capped brood. It works with capped brood. If you put an empty foundationless frame up in the honey, you're going to either get connected or you're going to get drawn and filled with honey. Generally up there they don't really pull out worker comb. So you do this across, you can do this across your hive, especially if they've got a really big population. And if you're in a flow, they'll pull it out right away, and if they're not, it's going to take a little bit longer. But this is called checkerboarding. So what happens to the next one, because I have empties again across the way, and I put that there. So again, I have worker comb and then an empty, worker comb, empty, worker comb. Now, I can put one against the wall. As long as this is working comb, then she'll more than likely draw you some worker comb up against the wall. Sometimes she just says, hey, I need spots, and they start drawing drone comb. It must be easier for them to draw. I don't know. checkerboarding as far as you being on a foundation, I don't do because, well, one, I don't do foundation, but when I did, you don't want to checkerboard and separate your brood like this, but that's because the foundation will separate your brood. When I checkerboard without foundation, I'm really not separating any brood. They can still have a free flow of bees and nurse bees and anything else that needs to go on, as long as she is in a foundationless situation. With foundation, you're cutting off the brood. You're cutting off communication, you're cutting off temperature, you're cutting off different things. So if you have a frame of foundation, you just move one in at a time. You can't do the checkerboard thing. Or maybe you can if you try it, but the whole idea is that you don't want to separate your brood like that. So, let's see. Okay. I hope you all know what that is. That is a frame completely of drone. Okay, I don't mind that because I raise queens, so I like my drones. However, I will not allow that to go up against that empty frame there. This will go up against a wall somewhere, probably up against that wall. And the next frame is worker. So that's exactly what's going to happen here. I'll put it down to the side. That's nice. See how nice, beautiful worker comb. It's got eggs, it's capped, it's good. So that's what's going to go against that empty frame. And I try to keep it where I don't checkerboard the entire box. Sometimes I have to. You know, if it's a really big hive, it really doesn't bother them too badly, and it opens up a lot of ventilation. It opens up their need to swarm. And this is the drone comb. Like I said, drones are good. Drones, even if you don't raise queens, you really do want some drones in the area, especially if you like your queen. Because just in case she does swarm on you and you're left with a virgin, you want some of those old genetics to mate back to your girls. If you hate that queen, then yeah, don't let her make any drone. So he goes up against the wall. And then I'll slide it back. And like I said, this is good for making nukes and making sure that you make your equipment reach its full potential. For swarm control, you can make nukes. Just for making a queen, just to watch them do it, and you don't want to use the entire hive, make a nuke, and it'll take 3 to 5 frames. You can definitely do 2, but if you're trying to make the nuke make your queen, take more frames. Make a 5 frame to give them as many resources as possible. If you're putting a queen cell in a nuke, a queen cell or a virgin or whatever, then you can make a 2 frame because they don't need all those resources until she's mated. And this makes with foundationless frames, I get approximately, I think we figured it out one time, they'll draw comb out 70% faster than on foundation. And I can't even tell you how fast they'll do it against the plastic permacomb. So there you go. That's checkerboarding for foundationless frames. So these are the 3 frame nukes that I've just made, and I leave 2 frames that are empty. If I leave them like this in a nuke situation, they don't even need to be checkerboarded. However, if you do, they may draw faster once your queen is mated, and you'll be able to tell she's mated by the type of wax that they draw. So, if you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you get notifications. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Hope you all are staying in your safe social distancing. Happy beekeeping.